Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship Preview Round 30. Only 16, well, 17 if you include this one, games to go now. We are nearly at the business end of the season. Things shaking out nicely. A midweek round for us to talk about. I think 6 on the Tuesday and 6 on the Wednesday, providing that all goes ahead this week, or this midweek, rather. I don't suspect we'll get the problems we had with the weather last week, because the lake in the village where I live has thawed out. It's not frozen anymore. So I think the temperature is better. And have we got a hold on COVID with the players? It's been a while. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers anyway, as we've spent the entire of the last year doing. Right. We're going to go through each and every one of these 12 midweek games. And you have an important job to do, and that is make your predictions. I don't need to know the score. Just tell me home, away, or draw. And we'll get a prediction in for each of these games. Say hello in the comments. Let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. And in just 30 seconds time, we will begin. I'm just going to do my plugs first. And as ever, with it being the preview show, we need to say thank you to our fan sponsors, the Donovan brothers, in loving memory of Michael Donovan of South East London, a lifelong Millwall fan and admirer of this show. As ever, throughout the show, you can support directly via Super Chat. First Super Chat of the show becomes the king of the bin. Whoop. Patreon is the way forward, though, to properly support the channel. We launched a new show on Patreon today. So let me know if you've watched that already, if you're a Patreon. Although it was 53 minutes long and I only launched it about an hour or two ago. So all good fun over there. Of course, hit like, whichever platform you're watching on, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, hit like. And the most important thing as ever, you can comment for the inevitable questions we get asked in the comments as we go. Has he talked about Luton yet? There's the running order down there. Direct anybody across to the running order down there. Let's say hello to everyone. Oh dear, minute silence. Liam got sacked on Football Manager. Doing me. Carl is here. James is here. Noah is here. Liam is here. Mr. E is here. Tricky set of fixtures for predictions. I'm going to be pleading the fifth quite a few times on these ones. Alistair, Zach, Brian, Anir, Ben the Beaver, QPR, Mill. There we go. What else have we got? Good scouting appointment. Yes, our friend Jay has been hired by Luton Town, which is very good. Check out my interview with him on the channel for a couple of seasons ago. Has he talked about Luton yet? There we go. Afternoon, Lord Bloom. There we go. Any comments about the quality of the picture or my jumper will not be read out. And we move on from that. Right. Let's do this, guys. There are the fixtures. So tonight, Preston, Watford, Stoke, Sheffield Wednesday, Bristol City, Reading, Borough, Huddersfield, Wycombe, Derby, and Luton, Cardiff. Some 7 o'clock, some 7:45s, one 8:15 tonight. And then tomorrow, Coventry, Norwich, Millwall, Birmingham, QPR, Brentford, Swansea, Forest, Barnsley, Blackburn, Bournemouth, Rotherham. That is our games. We will, as ever, start at the top and work our way down. That means Norwich City, who visit Coventry tomorrow night. So here we go. Real simple instructions. Home, away, or draw. By the way, this might be the easiest one you get during the show. So enjoy this one. As Chris said in the chat, some hard ones to call today. A quick glance at the table will tell you that this is a tricky task for Coventry. So Norwich went back to the top at the weekend. Get your predictions in via the comments. Coventry versus Norwich. Norwich going back to the top with their win over Stoke, coupled with Brentford's defeat at home to Barnsley. Coventry, well, we pointed out in the review show that over the last 11 games, they have now dropped below a point per game. Remember, the point per game standard will keep you up via the 10-year average. If you score, I think it's even 45 points over the past 10 years, you stay up. And Coventry, they've done it across the season. Look, 31 from 29. However, they've dropped below it over the last 11 games, And we could, of course, get one of those horrible high tide seasons where 46 points does not keep you up. Looking at the actions of the middle of the table lately, it could be a high tide season. Keep your predictions coming in for this one. Norwich, we've been fairly straightforward in our theory. They've got the best player. They've got the most money. They've probably got the best squad. And when the best player plays, they tend to win. So it's been quite straightforward for Norwich this season. And Buendia returned at the weekend. And, of course, they won, having gone 3 games without a goal. Coventry, well, as we said, we don't really need to look at those. It's 10 points from 11. Let's look at the homes and aways. Coventry's home form there is all right. 21 points from 13, actually. It's probably better than all right, given where they are in the table. Norwich's away form, as you'd imagine, is very good. They have lost 2 out of the last 4 away games. One was at Watford and one was at Swansea. So they're not in the habit of losing against lesser rivals in the table, let's just say. What are you guys saying in the chat? Lots of comments here. Right, here we go. Away, 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 draw, away. Please say Buendia is injured. Yeah, good luck with that. He's never injured. I think Norwich will really show up tomorrow night. Away. Oh, Jay's going to say home win. There you go. Home. Away. Norwich. Yeah, blah, blah. Away. Away. 2-0 Cov. There's a couple in there. Yeah. Can we avoid, right? We're going to make a new rule on here. If, for example, you support a team who is in second place, yeah, and you predict that the team in first place is going to lose because you want them to, not because you think they're going to, your prediction lacks credibility. Maybe I'm picking on Iain there, who sounds like a Swansea fan. Pass. There we go. Let's try and have credible theories behind our predictions. Anyway, we got them all in there. Callum, Coventry fan there, not very confident at all. However, it's the Championship, so who knows? Away, Norwich 2-1 away. Boom, boom, boom. Well, I'll stay with my theory. Away, Norwich to win at Coventry, the Sam McCallum derby, we will call that one. Moving on, QPR versus Brentford, which is an actual West London derby. I was at this game last season. Did Brentford win 3-1? I think Watkins scored a couple and Brentford won 3-1 late on in the game. Really good watch. Warburton versus Brentford, as you can imagine. Get your predictions in. QPR versus Brentford. Let's click on that. And we will be able to see that Brentford, their mighty run was ended by the high press and high intensity, high bravery tactics of Barnsley at the weekend. 21-game undefeated streak over. Will it be a blip? Will anyone else play like Barnsley did against Brentford? It's all very well saying that's how you play against Brentford, but then go away and train for weeks and months on a coordinated high press like that. It's all very well having the blueprint. Being able to do it is another thing. And we know QPR are not going to do that because that's not how Mark Warburton plays. QPR are in good form, though. You can see the 4 wins in the last 5. Let's do the homes and aways on this one. So I've got the microphone right in the way today. That's not clever, is it? Let me know if that's too loud. I just moved it a bit closer. QPR, 18th best home team in the division. Brentford are the number 1 most points accumulated away from home. They're number 1 on the points per game as well. So we can say that without anyone being contrary in the comments. Brentford are the best away team, according to the numbers there. Do we get a Brentford bounce back? What are you guys saying? Here we go. Norwich drew to Coventry last time, Iain, in the middle of their injury crisis, didn't they? So I think there's a few mitigating factors there, let's just say. Very different lineups and game state this weekend. Draw, 2-1 QPR away, draw away, Brentford bounce back. 2-1 Brentford says no, would do anything to be proven wrong. 3-1 Brentford away, Brentford draw. 4-1 Brentford, 3-2 Brentford. Austin to do the business. There we go, home win in there. Away, I'm not getting involved in that one. Away, 3-0 Brentford. Nobody else play like Barnsley. Exactly. Preston tried to press like Barnsley against Blackburn, did a pretty good job. They don't play exactly like Barnsley, though, do they? Draw. Brentford 3-1. I think Brentford will bounce back. Don't think QPR can do what Barnsley did. Again, no one can do what Barnsley did. No one plays in that. They could, but no one does, and they're not going to learn it between now and the end of the season. Away, says Brian. QPR improved since Austin. Even one at home. Chester for Brentford been sloppy lately. They've dominated this fixture. Draw. 3-0. Forget away team. I think Brentford are the best team. Full stop. There we go. Brentford 3-1. Draw. This is a difficult one to call. I don't think this is going to be as straightforward as, Brentford are better than QPR, therefore Brentford win. I think it'll be tight, but I am going to go with Brentford, actually. Away. I just don't see the QPR defence being able to shut out Brentford. It does look like Brentford are eminently scoreable past, if that's not terribly bad grammar or English, but I'll go for an away win. Top 2 to both win. Right, Swansea versus Forest here. Swansea versus Forest. Now, this was 5-1 in the Cup. However, that was the Cup, and Forest played a weakened team. Forest are in good form and have 19 points in 10 games. Swansea are also in good form, hence why they've been in good form all season. They're 3rd in the league, for goodness sake. Nearly at 2 points per game, and a win will put Swansea at 2 points a game. We all know that 2 points per game wins you the title if you can do it across the entire season on the 10-year averages. The only issue I've got with this is Swansea are fine margins. Swansea outperform their expected goals for and massively outperform their expected goals against. They are a finely tuned, efficient team that does exactly what they're supposed to. And Forest are going to make it very, very tight and horrible, aren't they? If you gave Chris Hughton 0-0 right now, he wouldn't even get on the bus. I just wonder whether we're going to get 0-0 in this one. I wonder. Or is Hurahan's arrival and that little extra impetus in the middle going to push Swansea on? So when we look at those XG and underlying numbers, we don't foresee a potential Swansea drop-off. Difficult one to call this. I'm going to plead the 5th and look at the chat first. What else have we got here? Preston also, but exactly. There you go. So the two teams that can press madly do well against Brentford, don't they? Good point. Swans 3-0, says Samuel. Draw. Swans. Swans. Home. Forest get promoted. Swans 1-1. Swans draw. Banker home. Draw. Swans, draw, Swans, draw. Oh, there's an away. Here we go. 0-0, Swans, home. 3-1. What would I go? Do you know what? I'm going to go with this will be my one curveball. Someone said I should be allowed to play a joker on these, which I thought was a great idea. I'm going to go for a draw. I think two teams that know how to defend, and I don't know whether Houghton might make it icky for Cooper. Remember, Cooper's had an answer for everything this season. He's been really good, hasn't he? I don't know. Draw. There we go. Right. Preston versus Watford. Get your predictions in. Have Watford turned the corner? So they changed shape in the last game. They took out Deeney and they took out Gray and went 4-3-3 with Sema and Sarr and João Pedro and won 6-0 against Bristol City. It can't be that simple, can it? Just change your shape, put round pegs in round holes, and you win 6-0 every week. So great win for Watford last time out. For Preston, well, they're trying to form this new team, aren't they? Looks a bit different than what we've seen the last few seasons. With Whiteman and Ledson and Evans and Barkhazen and Johnson and Lindsay was in at centre-back, wasn't he? Hughes and Cunningham scored. But they got the win, didn't they? Again, it wasn't quite in the quality of Barnsley's press, but it was pretty frenetic stuff from Preston. Really entertaining game that on Friday night against Blackburn. So they may be moving in the right direction. Let's bring up the old chestnut of Watford's away form as well. 16th best in the league, unbeaten in 3, only 7 goals in 14 games. How bad is that? God. But Preston's home form, 22nd best in the division. It's not very good either. Something got to give here. What are you guys saying in the chat? Preston versus Watford. Let's have a look here. There we go. Right. Watford 1-0. Watford away. Watford 2-0. 2-0 Watford. Oh, we're heavy on Watford here. Watford banker. Watford. Draw. Watford draw. Preston really unpredictable. Damn right. Away. Watford have used up all their goals for the month. That's tremendous. Draw. A false dawn. And Preston will grab a point. Away. Lucky result beating us. Yeah, right. Draw. Watford inconsistent. Preston will need to do more than press versus Watford. Yeah, that's very true. Away. An easy 6-0. Should have been more. Please don't change the winning formula. 2-1. Watford. Cooper didn't have an answer against it. Okay. You picked out the one. Get above them in the table first, Michael, and then we'll run with that one. Don't take anything I say literally either. Draw. 1-0 Watford. 1-0 Watford. Away. I think it was a joke. Watford. Draw. Watford. Right. I thought you guys would be more on the draw. I think you've changed my mind to go towards Watford then in this one. So let's assume that Chris is right, that the pressing worked against Blackburn. And let's assume that, I think it was Russell is right, that they've turned the corner and it's going to be the same system. And they're going to work in the same way. Away! I've gone for 3 away wins in the first 4 games. That's not sustainable, is it? Let's move on to Bristol City versus Reading, which we've just had brought up, that Bristol City obviously lost 6-0 at the weekend. 9 defeats in 12 for the Robins, and Dean Holden is in some bother at the moment, isn't he? But mind you, Reading are just slipping from their excellent form. Look, 5 points in the last 5 games, back-to-back defeats. Yes, okay, they have an 8-point gap in the playoff chase. However, go another 5 games with just 5 points, and we'll see what that gap is. Although I have been arguing that the middle of the championship has been rubbish lately and they haven't been scoring any points. And one of the most guilty parties in that has been Bristol City, hasn't it? Horrible slide down the table for them. Let's do our homes and aways. So Bristol City's home form, that's not bad, is it? 9 points in the last 5, 23 points in 14. It's not bad at all. Could be better, obviously. 10th in the league, but given their slide, could be worse. Reading's away form. A few draws in there. Who have they drawn against? 0-0 at Swansea. That's good. Beat Huddersfield. 0-0 at Preston. Should have won that. 0-0 at Stoke. So they've come a cropper against some good defensive teams. I say come a cropper as in haven't been winning. Obviously, the 2 home games of late were against Brentford and Millwall that Reading lost. Be just interesting to know what sort of a team that Reading are going to be able to put out in this one. Struggled with some injuries, haven't they? Right, what are you guys saying here in the predictions in the chat? 4-0 Reading, 1-0 Reading. Away, says Liam. Holden was told by the board over the weekend, start winning or you're gone. 3-0 Reading, 4-0 Reading. Can we have Streaky Lee back? A shout out for Streaky Lee there, who won 4-1 at the weekend for Sunderland, didn't he? 1-1, dull goalless draw. Bristol looked shocking. Call them Bristol City, will you get in trouble? 2-0 Reading, 0-0 away, 2-0 Reading. Reading win, nothing else to be said, says Nathan. Hashtag end of story there. 1-1 draw written all over it. 2-1 away. Wow. Reading to win and Dino to get the sack. Ouch. Bristol City 2-0. Okay. Reading 1-0 away. Not a landslide though. 1-0 Reading. Reading win. Zhao the difference. He's been the difference a few times. 0-0. Let's quick bang through these. 1-0 Bristol City away. Can Holden elicit a response? Reading look weary, but better side. Bristol City don't draw many. Away, draw. Omar Richards to Bayern. I'll believe it when I see it. Reading 3-1. If we can't win tonight, I hope we get stuffed. Lansdowne. I have similar thoughts with Mr. Paul Lambert, Jeff. Let's just say Lee Harvey Oswald. Nice. Pauno's tactics of trying to keep away games 0-0 as long as possible might take some pressure off Bristol City. Good point. Number 10 position problem isn't a problem when John Swift is playing, is it? Right, loads more in there. Bang, 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 bang. What shall I go for? I am gonna go draw. I think both sides are going to be terrified of losing this one. I think it's going to be quite negative. Draw, so yeah, incoming 5-2 or something to somebody, but I'll go for draw in that one. Right, Bournemouth versus Rotherham. Bournemouth still with Jonathan Woodgate as the boss. We thought there'd be a new guy in there by now, didn't we, with the interviews scheduled for the end of last week. Bournemouth, well, is the slip over? We'll find out against Rotherham, won't we? 4 points in the last 2 games after the bad run. I'm kind of the opinion that a competent manager, a decent hire now, and they definitely get in the playoffs with a 6-point gap and 17 games to go. But you know what I say about chaos? Chaos intimates bad results are coming. We've had good results for Rotherham of late, although they did lose to Mick McCarthy and Cardiff, and then had a postponement at the weekend. Let's look at the home and away form. Bournemouth at home are good, 5th best in the league, 27 points as well, 8 wins from 14, nearly 2 points per game at home. That's good for Bournemouth. Rotherham's away form is over a point per game, and given where I hate to say it, given the expectations we have for Rotherham's away form, which is very low, that's decent. And if they can match that at home, well, you know what I say, 46 points over 10 seasons keeps you in the division, doesn't it? Shall we see what you guys are saying in the comments? Bournemouth versus Rotherham. Let's have a look here. I'm scrolling. Oh, Will, don't even ask that, because there's 2 teams in Bristol, so you have to specify City or Rovers. I thought that would have been obvious, my friend. Right, here we go. Right, Rotherham win, 2-0 Bournemouth, 4-1 Bournemouth, 3-0 Bournemouth, 4-1 Bournemouth, Rotherham 3-2, Rotherham, so we're so mixed on this, 2-0 Bournemouth, 3-1 Rotherham, 0-0 0-0. Draw, we're getting everything. 2-1 away. Rotherham have a nice high press. That's a good point, Tyler, yeah. Another tricky one. Rotherham in better form than Bournemouth, but can defend naively. Draw, home, Bournemouth. Woodgate carried Borough to a relegation battle. Yeah, he did. They were retooling, weren't they? Difficult first job, that one in management, wasn't it? Hope for a Rotherham win, but home, Bournemouth. High scoring game, Cherish to shade it. Bournemouth, Hampshire referee. Yeah, Iain was incandescent that a man who comes from the town of the team you're playing against should referee against you. I don't necessarily believe that referees are corrupt, but there we go. 2-1, 2-0, 1-1 home. Yeah, right. Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. The first one of the show, home win. As much as I admire Rotherham, Bournemouth should be beating them at home, shouldn't they? And Rotherham's survival should not contend on away games at Bournemouth, although we had Sheffield Wednesday and Luton win there recently in the bad run. But I think Bournemouth are going to be all right. Oh, God, I haven't put a coaster under my coffee. I had pancakes earlier, by the way. Tremendous. I'm literally full of pancakes. As we speak, Luton versus Cardiff. Luton versus Cardiff. Get your predictions in. Luton managing to do what Huddersfield couldn't, and whilst sliding down the table of late, have won 2 out of the last 5 and managed to win at Birmingham, where many have also won this season, haven't they? Cardiff have flown up the table. Cardiff have capitalised on the ineptitude of basically everyone between 5th and about, 15th down there. Okay, we'll give Millwall a pass. We'll give Blackburn half a pass, shall we? But everyone else has just been rubbish in the middle of the table. Look at the last 5 games, and Cardiff have just flown with 2 draws and 3 straight victories up the table. Mick's got them simple instructions, and they are a Year 2 parachute team with some really good players. And go figure, they start winning some games. Let's do the home and away on this one. Luton's home form, 20 points from 13. Only 1 loss in those last 5 of that came against QPR on Charlie Austin's return. Cardiff's away form is good, 22 points from 14, including 7 points in the last 3. The question we really want to know is, can Mick McCarthy keep on winning? What are we saying here? Let me scroll. There we go. It's going to be hard versus Cardiff. 1-1 draw, 2-1 Cardiff, 3-1 Cardiff, 1-1, 2-0 Cardiff, 1-0 Luton. Here we go. We've got Adebayo as the goal scorer there as well. 1-1, 1-0 Luton, away, home, Cardiff. Luton are closer to Cardiff than Swansea to Brentford. Okay. I want a Luton win, but I'll take a 1-1. 1-0 Luton. Luton 1-0. Cardiff on a run, but Luton to keep it tight. Draw. I think we'll win this one 2-0, says Will. Luton 2-1. Tough one. Luton can nick this Cardiff to edge it. 2-0. Okay. Scrappy away win. At home, I think we'll do them tonight. Arise Archbishop Bloom. Tremendous stuff. Draw. 1-1. We'll advertise the watch-alongs in a bit. Nathan thanked Mick for Flynn Downs in the play match. Tremendous. What a job McCarthy is doing. 2-0 Hatters draw. I have a theory here. My theory is that Luton are the best team on transition. They're literally set up to do that, aren't they? And go bang. And Cardiff are the team least likely to get caught on transition, aren't they? Mick will have them so prepped not to get out of shape and go into Kiefer Moore and then work from behind the ball forward. Therefore, I'm going for a draw in this one. I think the 2 managers' styles cancel the other one out, don't they? I think Mick will be too pragmatic to let Nathan Jones's style win out. And I think that's going to cancel the game out. So I'm going to go for a draw in that one. What did Mick say many times? Every point's a prisoner. He'll be perfectly happy with a draw. Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield in one of our many Neil Warnock derbies this season. Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield. Get your predictions in. Borough are in horrible form, aren't they? 4 defeats in 5 for Warnock, and they've been one of my guilty parties as the standard in the second quartile and even further down has sucked in the last few games. However, Huddersfield are equally badly out of form. In fact, they're in slightly better form over the past 5 games. Look, 2 points from 5 games, plays 1 point from 5 games. Get your predictions in for this one. Borough versus Huddersfield. We used to coo over Borough's home form. But look at that. 4 straight home defeats. And Huddersfield's away form is the 22nd best in the league, or the 3rd worst, depending on how you want to spin that. Only 10 points from 14 games so far. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys are saying on this one. Can we hear more about the pancakes? Well, of course, Shaylee made loads of them, and I put lemon and sugar in. It was delightful. Brunch, if that's not too horrible word to use. 2-0 Borough, home. Will's off to the shop. Nice. 1-1 Borough, 1-0. 2-1 Borough, 2-0 Borough. 1-1 draw knock. We love a draw knock, don't we? 1-0 Borough, 2-0 Borough, 3-0 Borough. Oh, God, I've missed one out there. Sorry, Nat. Draw. 1-0 Huddersfield, says Tyler. Interesting. Home, draw. It's the championship. Just predict the opposite. That doesn't work either, David. Nothing works. Draw. Home. Huddersfield because it's the championship. Huddersfield. Home, away, draw, home. 3-1 Borough. Yeah, I'm deliberately hiding the bottom of it's just technical ineptitude. I am going to go home. Home win. I think Huddersfield are in a bit of a sticky patch, aren't they? And I think Warnock will keep it simple and do a number on them. If they don't, well, whoever loses is basically in the worst form in the league, and a draw would be thoroughly unhelpful to both. Barnsley versus Blackburn. Get your predictions in. Barnsley, fresh off impressing lots of people who've never watched the Championship on TV against Chelsea, and then impressing me, who's watched a hell of a lot of Championship against Brentford. Brilliant performance by Barnsley at Brentford. Without wishing to take any of the gloss off, Brentford are the perfect team for that Barnsley strategy, aren't they? They just keep playing out from the back, and Barnsley just kept on pressing them, and it was a very impressive performance from Barnsley, wasn't it? What I particularly liked was the front three being completely swapped out after half an hour, just when you, with half an hour to go, just when you thought you'd tired them out. We had Blackburn on the watch along against Preston, and let me say this, Preston were a high pressing team, and that did for Blackburn as well. So read into that what you will. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, possibly. Here's your home form there. Barnsley, 21 from 13. That's okay, isn't it? If they were to, say, take 4 points from the next two, you can see they've played less home games than, they'd only be 4 off Brentford's home form there, if buts and maybes. Blackburn's away form's not terrible, is it? 17 points from 14, all very middling with Blackburn, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead of the chat here on the basis of their excellent performance and no doubt high confidence. Home, which might put a bit of pressure under Blackburn. Remember, the thing with Blackburn is you're only ever 10 minutes of Elliott, Dack and Armstrong clicking from them wrapping in 3 goals in quick succession. I believe their attacking players are really, really good. Just the pattern of play, not quite there yet, is it? Why has Tom James written 2-0 about 10 times? You can go in the fake news sin bin, Tom, just so I can read the comments. You're not in trouble. Don't worry. Right, what have we got here? Home, Barnsley, draw. Home, Barnsley, draw. Home, Barnsley. We've got a pattern coming here. Barnsley, draw. Home, draw. No one's gone Blackburn. Barnsley. Blackburn win. There you go. We got 2-1. Barnsley. Just because I used it and had to put Tom in for spamming a little. We'll open up the fake news sin bin. In he goes. I've gone a home win. Let's move on. Stoke versus Sheffield Wednesday. The Stephen Fletcher derby. Stoke versus Sheffield Wednesday. Get your predictions in for this one. We've got one side in not very good form and one side in good form. And the side in good form is not Stoke. 1 win in 15 in all competitions. 4-1 at Norwich. They lost at the weekend. They've drawn a ton of games, but they're just not winning any games at the moment. Obviously, Bet365 is a hard place. They don't lose many there, do they? Well, we'll look in a second. Sheffield Wednesday, just that 6-point deduction is just completely screwing with them. They would be 16th without the 6 points deduction. Ifs, buts, maybes. But when we're analysing Wednesday, we shouldn't really analyse them as the 22nd best team in the division because they're not really, are they? They are better than that across the season. Let's do the homes and aways. So Stoke, 5 wins. Okay, maybe I was giving them a bit much credit. They've lost 5 home games, actually. So I'll take that back, actually, what I said. And only 1 win there in those last 5 at home for Stoke. Away from home, well, remember, Sheffield Wednesday's really good recent form has been predicated. I think they've won 5 on the trot at home Wednesday, haven't they? There's 1 away win in there, which obviously did for Jason Tyndall at Bournemouth. Just have a look. Only 9 goals in 14 games as well. But hey, is Jordan Rhodes back and having a lovely old time? I find this one quite difficult to call. So I'm going to go to the chat first, I think, and get your feedback. Ola says 2-0 Stoke. Ross 1-1, 1-1, draw, 1-1. Draw. Stoke must win at some point. Home. Stoke. Wednesday 1-1. Wednesday to nick it. Tight game. Stoke 1-1. Glad Fletcher's out. 1-0. Morgan Fox derby. There we go. 0-0. 1-0 Owls. 2-1 Wednesday. 4-0 Wednesday. I'll tell you what, Michael O'Neill's getting fired if they lose 4-0. That's the sort of thing that gets people fired. Amazing how Stoke can win 1 in 15. Yeah, to be fair, to make my stats sound better, James, I'm including a couple of cup games in there. So hyperbole guilty, yes. Away, Wednesday, another draw. Wednesday, Stoke. Wednesday to edge it. Red draw for Stoke. Away, Rhodes double. There we go. Second best home record in the last 5 games for Wednesday. Yeah. 2-0 Stoke. Neil under pressure. If they lose the next 2, agreed. Jack down there. Oh, come on. It's Stoke. It's midweek. It's the Bet365. They're not going to want to lose. Come on. Draw. Probably 1-1 or something, won't it? Right. We can definitely call this the Gary Rowett derby, can't we? Millwall versus Birmingham. Get your predictions in. Millwall are in good form. Birmingham are in horrible form, aren't they? So there's quite a good bit of synchronicity here. Let's see if I can do this without falling over the numbers. Millwall, 12 points from 6. Birmingham, 6 points from 12. One is 2 points per game. One is 0.5 points per game. I think you know which way around that is. Get your predictions in. Millwall's home form, however, is not very good, is it? Don't know why. Empty stadium, you tell me. 21st best home form in the division. Only lost 3 times, though. 9 draws in 14 at home. My God. Birmingham's away form is good. What a strange couple of teams these are. 19 points from 14, isn't it? God, this has got draw written all over it if you look at the numbers, hasn't it? However, if you look at the recent form, Millwall most definitely trending in the right direction. Birmingham, what's the opposite of beneficiaries? The victims of the rising tide at the bottom, and they're down there in the bottom three. And I'm not really very impressed with Karanka this season because it's virtually his team now. I'm going to plead the fifth and read your predictions before we go with my prediction. I'm allowed to. Right, where are we? Draw, home. Millwall and Karanka gone. There we go. Home. 2-0, 2-0 Millwall, 2-0 Millwall, 3-0 Millwall, 2-0 Millwall. Draw, 4-0 Millwall, 0-0. If Matt Smith starts, 2-0 Millwall. If John Daddy starts, 0-0. A Millwall win, time to go Karanka, 5-0 Millwall, home. Millwall. Birmingham 1-0, they're actually decent away, they are. And Millwall just draw all the time at home. 0-0. Birmingham are the only team that is actually in relegation trouble. Home. The worse the team, the worse we play. I used to have that in five-a-side, getting sucked down by the opposition's ineptitude. Draw. Home win and another home win. Well, I'm going to go with the chat then. And we're going to pile on Mr. Karanka. Home. And he's going to be in trouble soon. It's very tight at the bottom, so it's very easy if you're an owner at the moment to just say, "Oh, just get 5 points in 3 games, and you're out of it." But there we go. Wycombe versus Derby. Get your predictions in. Derby in good form. Wycombe got their first win in forever, didn't they? Away at Huddersfield at the weekend. So I think the Derby numbers, if I can remember back from my review, 25 points in 15 since McLaren teamed up with Rooney and Rossinia. There, look at that. 4 wins in 5 as well. Impressive stuff from Derby. They've got some forwards now. Kazim Richards is playing well, and Lee Gregory scored at the weekend, didn't he? Wycombe, I haven't even got him on the picture there, sorry. Wycombe in 24th. Lovely win, 2-0 down, weren't they? And won 3-2 against a sliding Huddersfield, who are in very different type of form than Derby are. But great win for Wycombe nonetheless. They are still 9 points adrift. And Wycombe are second. There's one for you, Jay, the Birmingham fan. The second worst home team in the division, 11 points from 14 with only 8 goals in those 14 games. They've done well to get 11 points out of 8 goals, haven't they? Actually, it's pretty efficient. Let's look at the away form as it pertains to Derby County. And as you can imagine, they've been improving recently. And you can see 7 points in the last 5. You couple that with some decent home form, you're going to move up the table, get in the bin. Sofa score always does that to me, doesn't it? There we go. And that is the overall table. It was just trying to reset me. I'm going to go ahead of the pack on this one. Away win for Derby. Let's see what you guys are saying. Derby, Wycombe, Derby. Derby, Wycombe, Derby, Wycombe. The Grey Escape is on. Ask me in a few weeks. Away, Wycombe, Derby. No draws in this one. There we go. There's one, Richard. 2-0 Derby. A couple of draws in there. Actually, 3 in a row. 4 in a row. Can we turn the tables upside down and you'd be happy? Ipswich should still be in the middle, wouldn't they? So I've gone with Derby on that one. Brilliant stuff. Thank you all very much. That has been the prediction show. Now, I'm on Blue Monday duty tonight, so I'm not going to be broadcasting any championship stuff tonight. If you want to watch me, I'll be on a live stream at about 9 p.m. on the Blue Monday channel talking about Ipswich. So if you want to see something funny, if you see that Ipswich have lost at home to Northampton, given this week's activities, then tune in for that. However, we'll be back at this time tomorrow and we'll be reviewing the 6 games that have played tonight, and we'll do some kind of super stream on Wednesday night as well. So we will catch up with everything. On Patreon, the quick predictions are about to go up. My first show with David Diamond, Classics Reviewed, is up there as well. Patreon's growing nicely. Do have a think about going and getting involved over there. Patreon youtube.com/Benjamin Bloom. Before you leave this stream, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, please do so. Also, follow me on Twitter @Benjamin Bloom. I don't plug that enough. And it's a big thank you one more time to our friends from Millwall, the Donovan brothers, who sponsor this show in loving memory of Michael of South East London. Michael was a lifelong Millwall fan and admirer of this very show. We respect the memory of Michael and we thank the Donovan brothers. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I will see you likely, if it's championship stuff you're in for, tomorrow for the review show. And all that remains for me to do is say over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.